One of my videos has gotten a lot of comments why so many nurses are still living paycheck to paycheck. A recent study highlighted that 78% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, and a 6% increase from the previous year. In other words, more than 3/4 of Americans struggle to save or invest after paying their monthly expenses. So today, I'm looking at how we get here and sharing you 7 practical tips on how we can break the cycle. You know those times when payday rolls around and you're already wondering where your money goes? I've been there too. In fact, I want to take you back to a time when finances were really tight. And yes, I was already a 6-figure earner. There was a time when my kids were both in college and tuition was no joke. $53,000 a year for each of them. That's over $100,000 annually for their education on top of usual allowances, household expenses, and of course, supporting our family back home. Plus, I was also pursuing a grad school that added up to the financial strain. Despite being a 6-figure earner, I found myself thinking about how am I gonna make it all work. I don't know about your financial situation. We are on different stages. Maybe you're way better off, but for me, it was a tough season. And I asked myself, how is it that I'm making all this money, but still struggling to cover everything? So when I asked my friends, my nurse friends, the truth is it wasn't just happening to me or in the same situations. Working overtime, still feeling like we were barely getting by. That's when I realized that we have to strategize our spending habits and really look at where our income goes. I'm going to share with you 7 practical ways how we can break free from that paycheck to paycheck cycle. These are simple steps that you can start implementing no matter where you are at financially, so we can have a stress-free and a better life. Step 1, know where your money is going. I realized at that time I had no real system in tracking my expenses. I just work and work. I sat down and wrote out every little cost, from Quick Shop to online subscriptions, that I saw just how much was slipping through my account. I used to have multiple subscriptions. I don't have the time to read all of those. That's when I started scrutinizing to get a clear picture of where my money was actually going. I have a budget list that I created myself on Google Sheets. I set up a monthly budget meeting with myself, and then I sit down with my husband so we are both accountable with regularly updating our purchases and adjusting non-fixed expenses for the rest of the month. Leading us to number 2, cut out the non-essentials. All the essentials we know, like mortgage, phone bills, car insurance, but there are non-essentials that adds up. And sometimes the hardest part is looking at better attention to what you're really spending on and deciding what could go. I was spending much on things because they are on sale. And then when I look at my boxes of shoes and dresses that I did not use or cosmetics, and it just pile up. This I learned while buying items on sale can seem like a great way to save money. It's not always a smart option because it can lead to impulse purchases. You buy things you don't actually need, potentially resulting in clutter and wasted spending. Tip number 3, I cut out on entertainment and grooming. I used to go to the hair spa every 3 months and spend $300 for haircut and hair color. Now I cut it down to only once a year, and then I do my haircut, so that is saving me $900 right there that I could use for our travel fund. Step number 4, paying your credit cards. Review what you're spending on your groceries. You might be surprised how much you're spending on your Amazon purchases. So let's do a challenge. Starting today, after you watch this video, look at on your previous purchases on Amazon for the past 3 months. Let me know in the comments how much it cost you. At least you will have a month frame expenses on your credit card. Here's a pro tip. Set a limit so you can keep track and pay your credit card after it's purchased. Most times, we have no idea how much we actually spend. When it accumulates, it is hard to pay it off. And when you pay only the minimum amount, it's gonna cost you. Credit card is good if you make timely payments, but high interest rates can significantly lead to a debt balance. I know there are tough seasons and financial challenges, then create more income. With the current economy and there's no more way to cut off on your expenses, then we have to do side hustle. In a recent survey, almost 50% of Americans are living paycheck because of high monthly bills. Creating a side income stream, I feel, is really a necessity these days. I am a girl who grew up with side hustles. I saw it from my mom doing multiple side hustles. I remember thinking I was too tired to start anything outside of nursing. It wasn't a huge amount of money back then, but it gave me a little extra cushion. There are so many options these days, from remote work, online tutoring. The key is finding ways that fits your lifestyle and your schedule. Tip number 6, build cushion for emergencies. I know this time having an emergency fund sounds like a luxury when you're barely making ends meet, but this will make a world of difference. Then tip number 7 is very important. If you can set up automation in place, you do it once and it will work for all your payments. Saves a ton of time. I treated my savings like monthly bill payments. Even if I started saving 10% of my income every payday, but that consistency builds up. Bonus tip, set goals that motivate you. When I started setting clear goals like how much money I have to save for family vacation and paying off credit cards at this certain time, it motivated me to keep saving and be more intentional with my spending habits. Learning about personal finance, budgeting, high-yield savings is very important, and I think the best education we can give to ourselves because these are not taught in school. Taking control of our finances isn't just tracking our monthly expenses. It's also about taking a proactive role in managing our money and keeping a healthy financial habits. Itemize your expenses in 2 important categories: the mandatory spending and also non-discretionary spending, which you can cut back on. Breaking free from living paycheck to paycheck is not just about making a ton of money. It's about managing what you earn. I've been in those stressful situations, but these steps help me regain control, and I know they can help you too. So if you ever felt that financial pressure, there's always a way to get out of that trap. Now, tell me in the comments which of these steps resonates with you. I'd love to hear your stories and support you on this journey. Never forget that money is to be managed and not to be squandered. If you want to hear more about how much money you need to earn, where I discuss about monthly expenses, check out this video. I'll link right over here. Thank you so much for watching. Please do hit the subscribe button if you aren't already, and I'll see you in the next video.